Alright, everybody. We have our Winter 2023 anime season first impressions. Because I think I've watched everything now, or everything I'm gonna watch. But I will just go down the list of everything and say why I didn't watch it, if I didn't, and why I am. I'm going by my anime list. I have it scored, or it is filtered by score, so the highest rated show will be first, down to the bottom. After a point, I will just stop talking about them because I probably have not watched them, and I probably never care to. If it's the second season, third season, fourth season part 2, fifth season part 2, blah 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 blah, I'm just gonna skip it because I am not talking about it. More than likely because I haven't seen it. But to get started, we have Vinland Saga Season 2, which I have seen. First episode, banger. Just straight banger. They came out the gate and they said, we're coming out swinging. And it was, wow. Like, the direction was pretty incredible. Probably, like, the first episode that stuck with me the most so far. And, I mean, Vinland Saga already, very good show. Very excited to see where this goes. But it's like entirely new character. We don't know who this guy is, but I am just thoroughly excited to see how the season goes. I don't really know how to talk about that spoilers, besides like new character, new guy. Thorfinn's still there. It looks like that we're in the farming season, which I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty good. Next up, we have Bungo Stray Dogs, the 4th season. I'm caught up on seasons 1 through 3. We're in a black and white part of the season, which means a flashback arc, which the last time we did one of those, it was a straight banger. And one of their best ever. So I am fully expecting that this season is going to be great, because it started off with one of the flashback arcs, which have yet to let me down. So I am, needless to say, incredibly excited to see where this goes. Next up, we have... Sorry, I'm also scrolling through this to see it. We have the Tensai Ojo to Tensai Reijo no Maho Kakume, which is the Revolution one. I forget what it's actually called. Or in English, The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, which, as our Chisato of the season, Win Pletia Arnisfia, who I love her. She's got the energy, she's got the vibe. She's just the Chisato of the season, and she's crushing it already. Like, based on her alone, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm down. Wherever this goes, I am a-okay to keep going. Because she's full of life, full of character, and I love her so much. I could just watch a whole season of her just doing whatever stupid stuff she's doing. Because the whole gimmick is she doesn't have magic, but like, she is the inventor. But she also just saved the princess who had her engagement broken off because the prince was like, no, I want to marry a commoner. So hence the genius young lady, who is just down. Life's just throwing her down in the dumps. But then, Anisfia, I will probably never pronounce that right, is like, she's mine now. I'm taking this girl. She's mine. We're gonna get some Yuri in here, and I'm excited. This was probably one of the premieres that, like, I was like, dang, let's go. And it's a light novel adaptation, and it's an isekai, I guess, or at least there's reincarnated. But like, I don't know if that's gonna be relevant, but it doesn't have isekai in the title. Oh wait, no, it doesn't have isekai in the title, so it got past my radar. So I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not watching Tokyo Revengers. I didn't watch the first season. It doesn't look good to me. I don't know if it's a hot take. I just don't. I'm not watching the Angel one, whatever, the part where she is a coal. I don't know what it's called. I'm watching Kubo-san. The vibes immaculate. I don't. I knew this. It's like it's like a Jump Plus one, I think. So like I knew it existed, but I hadn't like read any of it because it was like 100 chapters in, and I was like, well, too late now. But Kubo goes hard. The boy is just bleh boy. But I've been told it's like sweeter Takagi-san, where it's like more wholesome, which is exactly what I want. Because I don't want it to just be like all like the like bullying, teasing kind of stuff. Because this one makes it very clear, like like very clear from day one, is like Kubo loves this man who is just invisible, which is just like running the bit. It's not like the funniest bit, but it's like good enough, and I like their dynamic enough that I'm like, I can put up with this. That's fine. And that's like really it, I guess. Like I don't really need more than that. Kubo has a cute design. I'm just gonna stick with it. It's gonna be a comfy one. I'll probably fall behind like 3 episodes in, but I don't hate it, and that's good enough for me. Next, we have Buddy Daddies, the gay Spy X family, which wasn't really hard. Ray with the haircut, I mean, it is attractive, and it's another PA Works one who just seemed to be PA Works just seems to be doing whatever the hell they want, and so far apparently they've been more hits than misses, so good for them. They can keep going off, but this looks like it's gonna be a blast. The dynamic between two guys, great. Their kid, great. It starts off where he's like, dude, we can't kill this guy. We gotta go pick up our kid from daycare. She's sick. And you're like, no way. It's great. Like, great premiere. Vibes are all set. Boys are attractive. They're fun. Little girl's cute. That's all I care about. I imagine it's gonna get more like involved because the kid is like, they kind of just adopt the kid, and I'm fully expecting this child to be like a very important kid of someone who just like disappeared. But like we can get to that later. I just want to see them being a happy family for a little bit first, if that's all right with the show. Like I'd prefer that first. Next we have Surene season 2. We didn't really get a whole like we just kind of got like a pretty standard fare like recap, but like not recap episode for season 2. But I remember liking season 1, so I'm gonna stick with it. It's KyoAni. They have rarely let me down in recent memory, and I liked Surene enough, so I'm just gonna stick with it. These are just boys who like to shoot the bow, and honestly, that's fair. I'm not watching the cooking isekai. I haven't watched Belfry season 1. I haven't watched the Summoner one. I haven't watched the I don't know what this one is. The one by Studio Comment, where he wants to be a warrior. Blah, blah, blah. Next we have Tomo-chan is a girl, which is my least favorite premiere of the day. I got off 5 minutes in, and I wanted to die. The bit died immediately. You got one, and I was like, you're going to give me a whole season of the same joke? And I imagine they'll develop it more, but I was like, not funny every time. But I finished the first episode, which is good. I stuck through it, even if I probably did a lot of 10-second fast forwards, because I said, I want to hurt these people. Because the bit is, Tomo-chan is a girl, and her guy, Jun Kubota, does not see that. So he'll do things that, like, you do to the lads, do to the boys. And she's like, I'm a girl, and then punches him and beats him up. And he's like, what did I do? What did I do? And, like, it's clear they both love each other, but it's like, how much of this, like, slap the boy, and just like, I'm a girl, and just, like, beats him to death are we going to get before there's, like, any meaningful progress? So, I mean, like, respect to those that can watch it. It will not be me. It was the only premiere that I dropped. At least as far as no, it was. I'm pretty sure it was the only one I dropped because I just went in and I was like, "Get me out! I'm not staying for 13 episodes of this. No, sir." Next, we have Nier Automata version 1.1a. I haven't played the game. Everyone said I should play the game. Too bad. I don't have 80 hours to play the game. I have like 2. I don't really care if it's fine. It looks pretty. It looks decent enough. I imagine a million people are like, just play the game. Just play the game. It'll make a lot more sense. And I'm like, okay, I will eventually. Just not now. I don't got that kind of time. I got 20 minutes every week. I can do that. I don't got 40 hours or how long it takes to beat. The Omyoji Isekai, don't care. It's an Isekai. High Card, I did watch, and it looks kind of fun. It just, because the premise is they all have like cards that have like special powers. I'm not quite sure how they all work, but like a bunch of them seem to be like game related. Because like one of the guys is he touches you with his card hand because they can put the cards as like a glove and they turn into marbles. The other guy can like see the line, and the other guy is just really lucky and then takes. I'm assuming it looked like it takes the luck from other people, but it was hard to like say for sure. But it ruled. It was just utter chaos, and some of these designs are just great stuff. I don't know, I blew in the mic. I'm sorry. It just seems like it's gonna be a wild ride, and I'm hoping there are just some dumb powers in this one because turning a guy into marbles is like, okay, I'm not seeing what you're doing here, but I'm down. I vibe with this, so I'm sticking with it. Nagatoro season 2, not watching it. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, I'm not watching because it talked about buying a slave, and I said, I'm out, boys. I don't need to watch this one. Tsundere, another villainous one, don't care. Trigun Stampede, I did watch. I haven't seen the original Trigun. It's Studio Orange. They're like the one good CG studio, and this is fun. Like I thoroughly enjoyed this one. The art style is gonna take a little bit to grow on me, but like on the whole, I was like, this is cool. I'm vibing with this. I don't really know anything about the material or where it's gonna go, but like I enjoyed the first episode, so I'm fully gonna stick with it. And it's by Orange, and it seems like everyone involved is like, we're doing this. Like they seem to be pretty passionate, so I'm down for the ride. They got me. I thought it was a Netflix show though, because I was looking at the key visual and there's like the red bit at the bottom. I thought it was like a Netflix thing, but it's not. It's just on Crunchyroll. Next, you have the cool. It's the cool girl. No, cool guy and the. No, it's the ice guy and the cool girl. I think is what it's called. I'm not liking the title because I wanted to see because I knew knew vaguely what it was. But the ice guy is, you're not thinking like emotionless, is like this guy is an ice, like descendant of an ice guy. So whenever he gets emotional, he does different ice or snow related things. Which as a bit, I guarantee is gonna get old in like an episode and a half. And I was already in the first episode. I'm like, okay guys, we get it. When he is busy or angry or too focused, he starts a blizzard. It's not really funny anymore. But like, I like the dynamic between Ice Guy and the cool girl because the cool girl has a really good design and she's kind of just like vibing, but is also like a great human. So I'm just like, it's one of those where it didn't actively deter me, and I liked the designs enough where I'm like, I'll stick with this. But I'm also going into it fully imagining that I will not finish the show because I'm gonna get bored of the bit and be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna head out now. But it got an episode from me. I was like, this is fine enough for an episode, and that's really all that I cared about doing. So they passed that. You passed the first test. I don't think you'll pass the entire season test, but you made it episode 1, which is more than half these things. I had a bunch of season 2s that I didn't watch. Saito I didn't watch because it's an isekai. I didn't watch the other isekai. Onima I didn't watch because it just seems like not the vibe. And apparently it was also like super heavily censored. The Ningen Fushin, where it's all the people who just are basically down on their luck because they just got all the bad stuff happened to them, whether it was their fault or not. And now they all have like gambling addictions or drinking problems, and they all meet up. It's hard to say where it's going after one episode, aside from like they're all gonna party together to like live their degenerate lifestyles. But like they're refreshing enough protagonists where it's like they're not all OP, and half of them have like a crippling gambling addiction, and I'm like, that's cool. I like that. We can vibe with this for a little while. But it's gonna depend on how it really like progresses. If it's just them vibing, I might be okay with watching it. But it's hard to say where I'm gonna stand on it. But for the first episode, I'm like, yeah, let's get some guys, drunk guys who are like, we got screwed over. Let's just make a party and continue our gambling addictions. I'm like, yeah, sure. Go ahead. More power to you on that one. I don't judge. Probably should see help about that, but this is a fantasy society, so I don't think that exists. Next up, we have Ars no Kyoju, the Giant Beast of Ars, which is an original one that I would have fully expected was a video game adaptation because it is the exact same vibe. But it seems fine, like good enough. It seems like it could be really cool. It's an original, so I'm going to stick with it for a while because nobody knows where it's going, and that is appealing to me. I like the main girl's design. The knight guy is fine. Design's kind of whatever, but it has like an interesting world. Is really mainly where it is. Where it's like the girl is being hunted because it looks like a goddess kind of thing, where she like fuses with the knight guy to like get extra power to beat the big giant beast, so he can be a paladin. I wasn't entirely sure on that worked, and I imagine they'll tell us later. But I was like, looks cool, fine with me. And it's an original thing, so I want to stick with it. Because I'd rather see an original thing let me down than just give up on it before it gets anywhere. I didn't watch this Nokemono Hachiyoru no Yoru. I don't even know what this is, don't care. I did watch Revenger, which is a classic revenge story. It's gonna be fine. But it's like basically a band of like thieves, assassins. Well, the one guy's got a gold one where he like sticks gold on you and is like prays and you just die because he's got some like Jesus power. I'm like, that's cool. They all have cool enough designs that I'm like, yeah, I'll stick with this for however long I want to. I hope it's actually interesting, but so far it seems pretty cool. It seems promising. It's also an original, so I'm gonna stick with it regardless. But so far it's got me in there. Not like by the throat where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm down, but I'm like, I'm vibing. The vibe's been met. The vibe check's been passed. Will it continue that? I don't really know, but episode 1, it's passed. Next up, we have Spy Classroom. Not Spy Family or Assassination Classroom, it is Spy Classroom. Which had a great first episode where it's just like these down and out spy girls who are going to high school to be spies are like, yeah, we're cool, we're at the cool place with a guy who just does not know how to teach. But like, it seems like he earnestly like wants to, but then he's like, oh yeah, you just need to beat me. But he's just like the apex spy, and they're like, well, you'll be apex spies too if you can defeat me. Which is like, yes, true, but also it feels like the Assassin's Classroom, where it's like this guy's OP and we gotta defeat him. But it's kind of it's good. That's like I'm not amazed on it. It really hinges on like how the training stuff goes, where it's like, are these fun little mini mysteries? Because the first one was like the girl Lily is like, you're an idiot teacher. We need to get rid of you. And there's like a layer and a layer. It's like a mystery basically on how who's gonna die. And I'm like, okay, we gotta unravel your plan, and that's pretty neat. And I'm down with that. I don't know where it's gonna go. I've heard the light novel is like really good, so maybe I'll, if it's really bad for the rest of it, I'll just read that and see what it looks like. I don't know. I tried it. It was pretty good so far. I could see myself falling behind on it, but for now we're still caught up because there's only one episode out, so I can't fall behind yet. I didn't watch Polygon Pictures 1. I didn't watch Moe Pone. I didn't really care. Ice Sword Guy looked generic. The Slow Life didn't care. Ayakashi Triangle, also heavily censored, and I read a bit of it, and I was like, I am not this horny. I'm good. I'll take a pass. But for the people who like it, good for you. Wait for the Blu-rays to come out, because apparently that thing is more censored than YouTube with its swear words. I didn't watch The Wolf one, didn't watch Unite Up. I watched the first episode of Monogatari. Not really that impressed. I didn't drop it, because it wasn't, like, terrible. But, like, it wasn't really giving me anything where I was like, yeah, I'm down with this. This is great. I was kind of meh, which is fine. It's one episode. Like, I'll give it 3, I think, and then I'll be like, yeah, I don't really, whatever. It's fine. It seems like a decent enough premise, because it's the main boy had his family killed by the Tsukumogami, the spirits, but then he just fights them all. So instead of like being the de-escalation option, which his like grandfather does, where he's just like, hey dude, sorry you had to show up here, let's just like beep beep, put you back where you belong. This guy's just like, punch, you're going back on your own, you're going back. But then they send him to where there's a girl who lives with all spirits, and it's like, oh, there's gonna be some conflict here. But it wasn't really anything crazy. It was fine. I imagine it's going to be him learning to trust the spirits a little more and not beat them up every time. But, like, in his defense, they did kill his siblings right in front of him. He's a traumatized boy, and you clearly have not done anything to resolve that. So you're just going to whisk him away and give him some great exposure therapy that he is not really accepting so far. But it's whatever. Next up was Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, Northern War, which I'm putting on pause, even though I should also do this with Nier because it's a video game adaptation for a video game I haven't played. But Trails of Cold Steel is apparently like, or this anime is like set between the like 7th and 8th game, is what someone said, I think. And I'm like, okay, that maybe is like, I'm gonna pass on that one. And I also like a vague interest in it. I've heard these games are like incredible. So it's like one I'll get around to, which is probably what I should be doing with Nier. Or I should just stop watching Nier because I haven't played the game and just get to it when I have. But, so for now, it's on hold because I was in it and I'm like, I imagine someone has explained most of this, or there is games that tell you what most of this stuff is. I don't know what the heck's going on. But it was fine. I think everything after that, either I didn't watch or hasn't aired. The only one I'm mildly interested in is Hikaru no O, which looks pretty interesting, but I'm not entirely sure if I'll end up watching it. If not, it looks fine. We'll give a little gander at the cast first while I'm looking at it, or the director. This guy did script on a bunch of stuff. He directed a bunch of old Dragon 1/2. Oh wait, maybe I will watch this. He directed Glass Lip. Now we gotta watch it. Just kidding. We got a new show to watch. Glass Up Watch is on Earth. Just the Pokemon one, the final thing, including Ash's journey. That if I can find, I might watch, just because like it's a big moment. But that depends. Continuing stuff, I'm way behind on One Piece. I'm way behind on Blue Lock. I stopped watching My Hero Academia like 3 seasons ago. I didn't watch To Your Eternity. I'm behind on Ken Cole, this one, because I didn't care enough because I haven't played Ken Cole. I just liked the first season of the show. It's all these weird stuff. The O&As, I haven't watched any of those. I'm behind. I haven't seen the first season of one of those. Junji Ito one I might watch once that comes out. I don't know when it is coming out. The rest is January 19th. Hopefully it's better than the last one, even though I didn't watch the last one. I just heard it was really bad. It's a bunch of Chinese stuff that I haven't watched. Movies that I won't see probably for the rest of the year. Black Clover, if I won't see. Blue Giant looks cool. Let's see what else we got. Great Man Universe, if I can find it, whenever it shows up, I will be seeing that movie ASAP, but I don't think that will be until way late in the year. That's really it. That is, looks like all of winter 2023. On the whole, I'm watching way too much. Watching 15 shows, which is a lot more than I have many other years. But a bunch of them are second seasons or like things I'm like mildly interested in. I don't know how many will survive the cut. I imagine probably like 10-ish, I think, maybe less. I'm gonna say like 8 will make it to the end line. I'll probably drop another like 2, and then the rest I might just put on hold. And to look a little bit at spring, just to like do it, because why not? I'm obviously watching Oshinoko. I'm current with the manga on that one, and it is great. I'm still behind on Dr. Stone. I've read all of it, so I don't really care about watching more of it. Witch from Mercury Part 2 is going to be a banger. More Demon Slayer, I'll watch that. The Konosuba spinoff, I'll watch that. Mahotsukai no Yome is getting season 2, I'll watch that. Masumune-kun no Revenge, I'll give another like an episode, because I finished the first season and I have it at like a 5 or a 6, which is like I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like the best. But I imagine I'm probably just gonna drop it. Mashl's coming. I'll watch some of that. I'm current on the manga, so I don't know if I'll finish it, but it's fine enough. My Home Hero, I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. The Osama Ranking spin-off, I think is what it is. I'm gonna watch that. Osama Ranking, great. The new Pokemon, I might watch if it comes out, or it's like easily to find. The Marginal Service, I don't know what it is, but it looks cool, so I'm gonna watch it. Movies, that's really it. It's definitely a lot less stacked than this season, which is fine. I don't really care. But that's really all I got for winter and my look ahead to spring. I feel like I'm reaching back into my earlier anime watching days where I was watching more than like 2 shows this season. Because I looked back at some of the earlier years where it's like I was watching like 20 shows this season, and then like 2020, 2021 where I'm watching like 2. And I'm like, yeah, I was crushing it. But I think that's a sign of the times, and probably most of these won't survive. But for first episodes, on the whole, pretty solid batch. I don't know how many are gonna last, but I'm down for whatever, really. That's all I got. Goodbye.